Love, peace, and light. Christina Ariel here with another word. So, I've been, I don't know what day this is of my green light and violet light therapy. I had been watching um, the Young Elder show, and he had phase one on his show, and he was talking about the green lights and what they represented, rep, sorry, what they represented and why it was needed. And he did a whole program on that. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, go ahead and look it up. So I have been more on my spiritual hygiene um, and trying to clean out any energy that was unwanted or that was not mine, or I don't know if y'all understand the importance of clearing people out of your energy and out of your life that you find out have been secretly working against you. Um, and you learn this by many ways. You just have to pay attention. Sometimes you only learn it through spiritual means. Sometimes you know who it is. Sometimes you may not know the specific person. It just depends on how much the spirit or your spirit team thinks is important enough for you to know. So maybe like the second week of therapy, I woke up at about 1 a.m. in the morning crying, like not sobbing or anything, just tears, just crying tears. And in my sleep, I was sleeping and meditating on when Christ was on the cross. And he called out to the Most High, Eli, Eli, Lama, Sabachtane. They say it means, my God, why have you forsaken me? So I woke up feeling very sad, and I don't know how to explain it. It was just like something that I felt in my soul. It was just a sadness. I don't think it was for myself. It wasn't for myself. It was like understanding where we are right now. And at the beginning of this thing, I wanted to learn. I had this burning desire to understand and know and learn what the four original languages were and why, like what they represented, what they represented. And I had a desire to learn a language that I could pray in that was of a higher frequency than English. So I was trying to teach myself um, Paleo Hebrew. I resonate. Why? Because I resonated with it, and I feel in this timeline that's what I was or who I was. Maybe more so like I resonate with not just Hebrew Israelite, but maybe possibly Essene more. And I guess it's all supposedly male dominated, so they say. But however, that's what I was resonating with. So I would I learned the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. And um, to me, when I would say it, I felt it gave me a sort of comfort. that I wouldn't begin to be able to explain to anyone. But during my process of my process started in 2014, and it was grueling, let me tell you, because I had a lot of karma I had to unleash or cleanse. Okay? So, yeah, so I lived in Psalms. Psalms brought me peace. Psalms brought me comfort. Psalms brought me a certain kind of awareness. I don't know how to explain it other than I felt safe after reading it. I felt stronger and I felt a special kinship to David and Solomon. So I won't get any more into that. But yeah, but anywho, um, so I woke up with that portion of the Bible on my heart, mind, and soul, and I just cried for a little bit. And I was like, why am I crying? Why can't I stop? And why can't I remember the dream? So I was like, I had gone through some things, and I had spiritualists or dark spiritualists coming for me in the dream, in the astral plane. So in the dream, there was this, there was like a river, but the river didn't have water in it. I don't know how to explain this to you. It sounded like a river, but when you looked into the water, it wasn't water. And there were things in the water. Um, some things trying to get up on the other side of the shore, but for whatever reason, they weren't being allowed to. And on the side of the shore, the people that were coming for me were on. It seemed to be like off in the distance, but like I could see it clearly, but they could barely see me. They could see me, I guess, moving inside. I was inside like this, for lack of a better word. It was like a dome made of northern lights. If you have an understanding of the aurora borealis, and I was inside that. And these people on the other side of the bank had sent these supernaturally large leeches, if you will. Now, I'm saying leech as in bloodsuckers. So they sent these things for me, and I was like screaming because I have this thing about snakes ever since I was little, and I started screaming because I'm afraid of snakes, and they were that big that they looked like fat snakes. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So I'm screaming, and I hear my guide say to me, and he appears inside the bubble with me. He said, I can't do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. You have to wake up and you have to fight. So he said, kill them. If you grab them, kill them. So I started stomping these leeches and ripping their heads off and like squishing them and doing all these things, and I'm killing them, and I'm freaking out while I'm killing them and everything. And then they said, he was talking to me, and he said, if they have any writings on their backs, look at the writing. So there was one slug that was brown, like a lighter brown than the other slugs, and it had Hebrew writing on it. At the time, I didn't know what it meant, but the writing on these slugs were Hebrew writings, and I believe they were the sins of the slugs in the spirit that the slug carried. So, as I destroyed these slugs, the people on the far bank, their faces were unveiled to me as I started killing these slugs. So the ringleader, which was a woman, she was like, no. And one of them said, oh my God, she sees us. And then she's like, it's impossible. She can't see us. And the veil, like her face was revealed to me. And then I saw her throw up like visceral blood, meaning very dark black. When you, the deeper the blood or the more serious the hemorrhage, the darker the blood. I'm trying to explain like um, when you bleed blood that's almost black, that's not a good thing. It's just not good. So I knew that meant she was mortally injured somehow in the dream. And I was pissed because I was like, I did nothing but good to these people. Like, I didn't do, even when I found out who these people were, and when my intuition kicked in and my clairs kicked in and showed me who they were, I just removed myself like I was told by the Most High. I removed myself. These people kept coming after me. And I remember in that moment that I saw her face and I started seeing others from this group that I had removed myself from. I said to the Most High in that moment, I want their heads. I want every one of their heads. I want their heads. And it wasn't that I was angry, it was that they hurt people that had nothing to do with me and them. Like, the problem was for that person was that I stood up to her and she considers herself a god. My love, you are not a god, and God's going to show you you are not a god. So I, at this point, I'm like, I knew certain people were protected, were absolutely protected, and I didn't really worry about them, but I was like, who do these people think they are? And then I was shown other things that they had done in the past, other people's lives who they had disrupted and broken down. And I thought, why? And I asked the Most High, like, why are these types of people allowed to live? Why are they allowed to live? I don't understand. And the Most High showed me, like, good and evil are a balance, and it's needed, even though we might not understand it. But it's like when I went on the mountain one day and I heard Red Pillar and Blue Pillar speak, and he said something that I had heard many times before in the past. He said, evil wins when good people don't stand up and make themselves heard. And it struck me hard in my chest because for the first however many years, I was angry for being here. I didn't want to be here in this realm. I didn't want to. I didn't understand why I was here, and I was angry about it. I wanted to be on some plush planet, enjoying the sun and just being. But now I'm here. And now I kind of understand why good people have to stand up. Everybody else is too afraid to. But at the same time, we don't have to sacrifice ourselves for anyone. I refuse to sacrifice myself. So I'm here to tell you, we're all sovereign beings. We have a right to be and do what we were meant and born for. But we have to stand up for ourselves. No one can speak for you. Only you can speak for you. And I guess what I'm trying to say is we have to understand that these things, these beings, these entities, they have no real power. They only have the power that you give them, if you give them power. So don't give them power, and hold on to your power. Lean on the Most High. If I told you right here and right now some of the things I've been through as a child, some of the things I've seen, some of the prayers I've had to pray to protect myself and my family, just because people refuse to see with their spiritual eyes what's going on. People stick their head in the sand and want to pretend everything's okay when it's not. Love, peace, and light. May you understand one day better what we fight against. We fight not against flesh and blood. Namaste.